and welcome to another yoga practice. We'll start today's practice in a comfortable seated position. So find yourself in a nice comfortable place on the chair. Allow the soles of the feet to connect down towards the earth. And allow yourself to find a place where your spine can feel nice and relaxed, where you can sit up nice and tall. So for some of us, we might want to lean back in the chair that we're sitting on, or for others, we might want to bring the weight forward and have soles of the feet on the floor. From here, I just invite you to either close down the eyes or look towards the earth. And we'll just start today's practice by taking the focus inside. Allowing the shoulder blades to settle down the back space away from the ears. We want the chin to rest parallel with the floor, so we're not tucking the chin towards the chest or sticking it up, but the head rests at a nice level above the spine. And we can gently start to sink our weight down towards the earth, feeling the connection to the floor through the feet, allowing the sits bones, lower half of the body, to feel really rooted and connected to the chair. And then from the base of our spine, we can start to grow nice and tall up towards the ceiling, as if there were a cord in the crown of our head pulling us up through towards the sky. Allow the shoulders to melt down away from the back. I'll just invite you to start to bring your awareness to your breath. Just noticing without judgment the steady inhalation and exhalation of your breath. Just notice what happens to the body on the inhale. Maybe the diaphragm, belly expands, rib cage expands. And then as we exhale slowly through the nose, allow this complete sense of relaxation to flood every cell in the body. Continuing to watch the breath as it flows in and out of the body. And just gradually over time, without forcing it or any artificial breath, we can make each inhale longer and fuller. And then each exhale, we can allow that total relaxation in the body. The word yoga comes from a Sanskrit word which means union. And what we do when we practice yoga that makes it different from other kind of physical workout forms is we bring together in union the breath, the body and the movement. So as you move through these yoga postures and sequences today, I invite you to keep that maximum concentration on your breath. So trying to make sure your breath is connected to all of the different movements that we make, allowing that kind of full relaxation for body and mind. Enjoy the class. So this practice is focusing on the shoulders, neck and shoulder area. It might be useful to have a scarf or a belt or a strap, a bit of rope, just something nearby that we can kind of hold on to do some poses later. So if you want to press pause and get yourself a scarf or something and just leave it nearby. And then when you're ready, we'll come back together and we'll get started with some gentle stretches through the neck. So we'll just drop one ear over to one shoulder. Gently then place that same hand on top of the head, just allowing some gentle kind of, we're not forcing or pressing, but just allowing that hand to add a little bit of extra weight to allow this side of the neck to open up. With the opposite hand, I'm going to flex the fingers back towards me and actively press the earth away. I can lift that arm up a little bit or lower it down, trying to keep that deep stretch, so I'm pushing the floor, pushing towards the floor as I actively stretch this ear towards this shoulder. And then we can turn the chin slowly down towards the earth, taking your time to slowly release nose towards the floor. And then slowly, mindfully moving that chin all the way up. And you might find a kind of sweet spot or a spot of tension along this way that you think, oh, I'm just going to hang out there and just give that area of my neck a nice deep release. Otherwise we can carry on just slowly, mindfully opening chin up towards the ceiling. And just take that journey twice more, slowly moving the chin all the way down towards the floor. And then gently bringing it all the way back up towards the ceiling. And again, feel free to stop anywhere en route that feels like that's the right stretch for me. And then when you've done your final movement of the head, gently release both hands, release that head back up to the center. Any gentle movements you want to make, and then we'll take that release on the second side. So I'm dropping my right ear to my right shoulder this time. Right hand comes on top of the head, and then my left hand flexes and I press the floor away. Try and get some good resistance if you're actively pressing something down towards the earth. Again, find a place for this arm that feels good. It might feel good to go sort of straight down. You might want to lift it up a little bit. And then we'll take those nice investigations with the head, turning chin down towards the floor. And then slowly making that movement all the way up, chin towards the ceiling. It's normal to carry a lot of tension between the neck and shoulder area, particularly as maybe we're spending more time than usual on our telephones or laptop devices. So just take this movement nice and slowly, and if you find a good place to stop and feel that stretch, go ahead and hang out in one position for a while before you take that final turn, chin towards the floor, and then that chin comes all the way up towards the ceiling. Lovely. Gently release, hand down to the earth and release. Lovely. And if you need any small neck stretches here to release shoulder rolls, go ahead and do so. From here we're going to take the fingertips lightly to the back of the head and just gently lift the chin up towards the ceiling. So we're working on a kind of opening right at the top of the shoulders, and it can be really easy to pop the ribs forward when we do this. So I invite you, as you lift those shoulders, draw the ribs back so the ribs sit on top of the hips and underneath the head. So we're really working top of the shoulders as I lift the chest open to the sky. I'm going to inhale, lift the top of the chest, and then exhale, press the elbows back behind the ears. Lovely. Take another one. Inhale, lift the chest, and exhale, press the elbows. We're going to take a couple more of these. Keep thinking about drawing the ribs back in line so we're not pushing the ribs forward. So we inhale, lift the top of the chest, and exhale to open elbows behind the ears. It's as if we're lifting the top of the shoulders up over a kind of bar behind us. Take one more here. Well done. And then exhale, we'll curl chin towards the chest, draw the two elbows together. And we'll roll through this. So inhale, open up, lift the chest, gaze to the sky. And exhale, chin towards the chest, elbows together. Take a few rolling movements in time to your breath to release and soften top of the chest and shoulders. Lovely. And then exhale, gently release those arms down towards the floor. I'll take hold of that strap now, so it can be a strap, a scarf, a belt, anything that works for you. I advise you to have kind of almost 3 feet distance between the two hands. So my hands are just a little bit wider than my shoulders, so it should be out quite wide, and my arms, going to keep my arms nice and straight. Again, I'm going to think about that posture, so I'm not going to press the chest and ribs forward. I'm going to draw the ribs back so they sit over the hips, and then as I inhale, I'm going to keep the arms nice and straight, and then have a go at taking the arms down behind me. To move a bit more forward so I don't hit the wall behind me. Exhale, take those hands back, keep the arms nice and straight, and then slowly bring it all the way back. So we'll take a few of these. Inhale to lift the arms straight up overhead, and then exhale, have a go at keeping the arms straight as we take that scarf behind you. Lovely. So if that feels quite challenging, I can move my hands further away from one another, make that space a bit bigger. It might be easier to get the hands all the way behind me with the arms straight. If have got more room between the shoulders, or if it feels quite easy, bring your hands a bit closer together and find a level of challenge that works in your body. And we're trying to keep both arms straight as we do the full rotation. Lovely. And take 2 more. And last time we'll take it up. And exhale, gently release. Give those arms a nice little shake, little shoulder rub if they're feeling a bit tired. Next exercise, I'll just turn on my chair so you can see what I'm up to. We're going to keep working with the scarf. I'm going to extend my right arm up nice and tall behind me and drop that hand behind the back. I'm going to bend at the elbow, and then with this opposite hand I'm going to have a go at taking hold of that scarf. So here I'm coming into a nice deep shoulder stretch, maybe walking the hands closer towards one another, holding onto the scarf. And again, I'm going to think about not pressing those ribs out. So I'm going to draw the ribs back in line so they sit directly over the hips and my ribs and belly come flush. I'm holding onto the scarf, anywhere along the scarf that works in my body and for my shoulders. And maybe over time I might be able to release the scarf and get those fingertips to touch. If this feels like too much on the shoulders at any point, a nice variation is to simply cross one arm in front of the other and come into this nice shoulder stretch, pulling the shoulder along the front. Otherwise we're working with that stretch behind the back of the body. Lovely, and then gently release those arms, give those shoulders a shake. And then we'll swap the scarf into the opposite hand. Rise the arm up nice and tall, and then have a go at dropping that hand behind the back of the head. I'll take the other hand, take it behind me. Take hold of the scarf at a comfortable position. Draw those ribs back in line so the ribs and the stomach are flush, sitting over the hips. And I'll stay here. I might want to work a bit deeper, get those fingertips to touch. Or if this doesn't feel right in my shoulders, I might cross this arm in front of my body and hook it with the opposite shoulder instead. We'll stay here for a couple more breaths. Lovely. And then gently release, draw those arms down. We'll place hands away from the shoulders. And we'll finish with a nice deep eagle stretch, really beautiful stretch for the shoulders. If you need any kind of cat-cow here in between, feel free to give this body a nice shake. To take eagle, we're going to take the arms out nice and wide as if we're pressing 2 brick walls away, so my hands are flexed towards me. And we'll just do some little circles with the shoulders first in one direction. Lovely. And then we're going to bend the arms so the fingertips come to the sky, elbows stay parallel with the floor, and draw the arms together. For an easy version of eagle, I'm just going to give myself a nice hug, bringing right elbow on top of left, take the arms around towards the shoulder blades and give myself a nice hug. Option 2 for eagle, I'm going to take both of those elbows up towards the ceiling and then draw the elbows up in front of my face. And option 3, I can stick the thumbs out and have a go at taking hold of the top hand thumb with the bottom hand, and then I reach both hands, elbows to the ceiling. I press elbows forward away from my face. It's a nice deep stretch in between the shoulder blades. Again, think about that lovely alignment and posture. Head, heart and hips stacked one on top of the other. So press the elbows forwards. And then gently release. I'll just turn back round. Release the arms out nice and wide. Press away through those brick walls. Take those circles in the opposite direction. Good. And then we'll prepare to take eagle on the opposite side. First bending the arms at the elbows. Cross the opposite hand on top now. Give yourself a nice hug and a squeeze to begin with. Get some space between those shoulder blades. You can stay here and work on this nice easy eagle, or we can point the fingers up towards the sky. Have a go at taking hold of the top thumb with the bottom hand, and then we reach elbows towards the ceiling. As I push the elbows forward away from my face, draw ribs back in line with the hips. Connect with that lovely slow and steady breath. And then gently release the arms out towards the side. Give those shoulders a nice shake. Release the head. And that's today's flow for the shoulders. So finding ourselves once again in a comfortable seated position on the chair. To prepare for relaxation, you might find it more comfortable to lean back further into the chair behind you. If you want to grab a cushion or anything to sit on or have behind you, as we prepare to kind of sit still for a little longer, you're very welcome to. I suggest having soles of the feet flat on the floor. Just helps us ground down towards the earth. And then find a nice comfortable place for the hands on the lap. And I invite you again to close down the eyes and take the focus inside. Finding a nice comfortable posture for the spine. Allowing the chin to come parallel with the earth. Shoulder blades relax down away from the ears. And again, gently bringing our awareness to our breath. Just noticing without judgment the steady inhalation and exhalation of your breath. Just noticing if the quality of your breath is different in any way to how it was at the start of practice. Noticing any differences or any similarities between that breath. Before we gently let go of observation of the breath. And just allow ourselves to melt into a nice deep relaxation. Allowing the toes and soles of the feet to soften and relax. The sense of relaxation works its way up its ankles, towards our shins. The knees soften and relax. And this sense of relaxation travels to our thighs. We allow any tension in the thighs to melt away like warm melting butter. Allow the sits bones, hips and pelvis to soften and release. Let go of any tension in the abdomen and belly. Allow the belly to be soft now. Allow this sense of relaxation to travel up the spine. So the lower back softens and releases, traveling all the way up to the area behind the rib cage. Until finally our shoulders soften and release. Any tension in the shoulders melting away like warm melting butter. This relaxation spreads down your arms, wrists, hands and fingers. The neck softens and relaxes. And then you gently relax all the muscles of your face. So from the tip of your head to the tips of your toes, your body feels totally relaxed now. Lovely. And then when you're ready, we'll gently bring your awareness back into your body. Keeping your eyes closed, just visualize your body on this chair, in this room, on this day. And in your own time, we can start to bring some gentle movement back into the fingers and toes. On an inhale, maybe stretch the arms up above the head, have one nice long stretch side to side. And then exhale, gently we'll draw the hands in front of the heart. Thank you very much for practicing with me today. Take care.